week 4 of Bucks Weekly with winter sports season, and I'm with the head girls basketball coach Jim Meyer. And the Lady Bucks are 6-1 on the season, 4-0 in the cross county conference, and are coming off a back-to-back very tough games against Arcanum and Newton, both victories. And coach, can you talk about those two close games?
Well, Arcanum was our fourth game in a span of 8 days. And kids had played Versailles, they had played Bradford after playing Twin Valley South the previous Thursday. So Arcanum, we knew we were leg weary going in, and Arcanum on I believe it was Tuesday night before played Versailles very well. So we knew it was going to be a tough physical game at Arcanum. The game kind of went back and forth. We fell behind 7 going into the fourth quarter, and the kids clamped down on defense, held Arcanum to just 2 free throws in the fourth quarter, and we came all the way back and won. It was a great game. It was a great comeback game, and I told the kids after the game, winners find ways to win. And that's just a tribute to their attitudes, their belief in themselves, and that was a big win for us. Arcanum is young, but they are very good, very aggressive, very quick.
And it was what was really cool about that win is, we didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but like you mentioned, you can always play defense, and that's something our girls last year and then carries over to this year. They've always played defense, and the defense really won the game against Arcanum because, like you said, we held them without a single field goal in the last 8 minutes. It was unbelievable.
Well, the thing the girls are able to do, and we did this last night, they're able to switch defenses. We can call a timeout and say we're going to go from a man to a zone or a zone to a man, and the transition is always smooth, and that always seems to create a change of momentum in the game as well. So, yeah, we take a lot of pride in our defense, and the girls do a good job. We play a lot of teams that are bigger than us too, and they're not afraid to step in there and battle.
Well, and last night at Newton, of course we're playing one of the better individual players in the conference, in Tatum McBride, and I noticed in the first half Kenzie Long was on her like a glove, and held her basically to 3 points in the first half.
Yeah, Kenzie did a great job, and I want to also credit Morgan Kimmel and Morgan Lowe. Kenzie took a shot in the face early in the game and had to come out, and then was just tired, because what we asked her to do was, as soon as Tatum gave up the ball, was go into a face guard position, and that's really tough to play defense. You got to rely on your teammates to tell you what's going on, but you're pretty much chasing somebody around, looking them right in the face from about 4 inches away. But she did a great job. We held her to 3 points in the first half. That allowed us to have a 9-point lead at halftime. And I told the girls she's going to get loose sooner or later. Mm-hmm. And she got heated up in the second half and had 20 points. And Newton has their funky little half-court trap that they use on everyone, and that creates some problems. But our kids now have seen it for at least I've seen it. The kids have been with me before that have seen it more, but we've seen it 3 times, and we're starting to deal with it a little bit better, but it created some problems for us. So, the lead shrunk, but we held on, and Lauren Christian hit 2 big free throws at the end to seal it, and so that was, and again, that was on the road as well. We've been on the road so much, the kids are just getting so tough playing away games, so, to have 2 big wins on the road with Arcanum was really great.
And talk about those 2 free throws by Lauren. She was scoreless up to that point, and she's not one of our primary scorers, but throughout the rest of the game, I think we were 2 of 8 or 2 of 10 from the free throw line up to that point, and then she comes in and gets fouled there with, I think it was like 4 seconds left, and knocks down 2 free throws. It basically
knocks down 2 free throws.
It just looked like, this is no big deal, and she just drained them like nothing.
Well, I was thinking about Lauren in particular. Lauren's been on a big stage in track and field at state meets, and she understands pressure and understands big moments in athletic events. And I think that she's very confident, And I think she went to the line, for the last week, we've been doing pressure free throw situations at the end of practice, just to try to put them in that situation. So, yeah, she responded, she was calm, and those were dead center free throws. So, and that gave us a 4-point lead. He had no timeouts, and all he had to do was let the clock run out.
Mm-hmm. And again, just like the Arcanum game and also against Newton, we had a hard time, finding consistency offensively. But you had a senior step up and knock down 4 huge three-pointers in that contest.
That's what Jordan does. That is her main thing. And I'm so happy for her because, she didn't get a participate in any tournament last year, and spent the entire summer and fall rehabbing the knee. And she's just going to keep getting better and better. But she can always shoot.
Mm-hmm.
The girl can shoot. If she gets that open spot, and you can see her quickness coming back, you can see her defensively being more aggressive and being more confident. And you and I have had this discussion before, and she'll tell you the same thing, because I had the same thing happen to me. It's just, you got to trust your grace. And the more you trust it, the freer you get, the more confidence you get. And, she didn't come off the floor last night. Sammy didn't come off the floor last night. So those two did a heck of a job for us.
Well, you talk about her having to trust her grace. I noticed, the last few games, that she's been more willing to dive on the floor for loose ball than she was. Early in the season, kind of like, I don't know if I want to chance that or not. But there was times she was right in there head first going for a loose ball.
And that's the Jordan I know and love. We talk a lot about getting burned on bank threes.
Mm-hmm.
Teams will shoot them.
And she burns them all.
She hit one last night, man. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we owe a few teams some bank threes back. So we'll take them any way we can get as long as they get them.
Okay, well, that's it with Coach Meyer. After this brief break, we will talk to senior Jordan Crow.
Hello, my name is Ron Sutherland, President of Covington Savings and Loan. We have been a part of the Covington and the surrounding community since 1886. We have been serving both savings and loan customers and help promoting home ownership. Stop by and talk with Jason for your lending needs, or see Diane in Brooklyn for all your savings needs. Thank you for your continued support to help Covington Savings and Loan continue to support the Covington community. FDIC approved.
We're back with week 4 of Buck's Weekly Winter Sports Season with senior Lady Buck, Jordan Corral. And Jordan, it's good to have you back on the court this year after a tough injury last year. So could you talk about your injury and what you've had to overcome?
Well, for starters, when I first heard about my injury, I was more than just, I feel like I was letting down my teammates. I felt like I couldn't be a part of the team, which I was part of the team, but I don't know. And then starting season, I was very nervous about my recovery, but coming up with this season, I was just really nervous. And my brace, I had, like you said earlier, about diving for the ball. Now I feel more comfortable in my brace. And
Now, your older sister had the same injury, and she's went through the rehab process. How much has she helped you mentally kind of get through that?
you'd be surprised how many times she reminds me, like, Jordan, come on, you gotta do your physical therapy. She has had 2 ACL surgeries, and the second one, she didn't do rehab a lot, like, 'cause she was just depressed about having to go through it again. And she would just always constantly remind me, like, Jordan, you know you're going to regret it if you don't do your physical therapy. So I was just always on the ball with things, and everything worked out fine. So.
Okay, and Coach had talked about, in previous Bucks Weekly, and I'm sure he's talked to you about it, is trusting your brace. I mean, did you understand it, and do you understand it now? And how have you been able to trust your brace?
Well, actually, I didn't realize it until when we scrimmaged Cedarville earlier this season. Some girl knocked my knee, and I felt it, like the brace caught it, and I was just crying because I thought it was hurt, but I was just scared more than anything. But I feel like that really ticked off the notch that the brace is there to protect it. So.
Good. Well, and the season right now we're 6-1 on the season, and you've had some really good games individually and also as a team, but none really bigger than last night against Newton. I mean, you hit some huge shots when we needed them, 3-pointers. Can you talk about that?
Well, personally, I feel like everyone on our team has a role, and I think it's obvious my role is to shoot threes. And, you know, even when I have off nights, I still shoot them. And I feel like attitude is a big part of my three-point shooter because, you know, I don't make a lot of threes, but when I miss one, I can either think, get the next one, or let that one just make me not shoot anymore. But you just got to keep your head up and keep shooting, so.
And yeah, and it worked last year. You know, I mean, you hit some big shots before your injury, and then this year you've also hit some big shots. So, are you starting to feel more comfortable now? You know, now that you're basically a third into the season.
Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable. Especially my teammates help me a lot. Like sometimes I'll get down on myself, but they always like help me and they encourage me. So.
Well, good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Okay, after this break, we will talk to Coach Pond and the boys basketball team.
Eagles does a lot for this school and this program. We need to give them some thanks. On three, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go Eagles! Yeah!
Thank you, Covington Eagles! Thank you, Covington Eagles! Thank you, Covington Eagles! Thank you, Covington Eagles! Woo! Thank you, Covington Eagles, for all you do for Covington schools. Go Bucks! Woo!
Hi, this is Don Solon, pastor at Fields of Grace Worship Center. We are a non-denominational church with a contemporary casual atmosphere. We are a church committed to reaching outside our walls while at the same time caring for those that call Fields of Grace home. Maybe you know Fields of Grace by all our community events. You are always welcome to come on over for a cup of coffee Sunday mornings and check us out at fieldsofgrace.org for service times.
Color Green Photo offers a variety of photographic options for high school seniors, weddings, and families. We pride ourselves in providing creative and captivating images that have a special meaning to those we shoot. Please visit colorgreenphoto.com to view samples of our work and contact us at 937-418-0417 to schedule your next photo session.
Welcome back to Week 4 of Bucks Weekly Winter Sports Season. I'm with Covington basketball coach Matt Pond, and the Buccaneers started the season a lot later than everybody else. I mean, we didn't start until December 8th, and it seems like a long time ago we talked for the season preview. But the Bucks have had 3 tough games to start seasons, 0-3, and we opened up with a really good Franklin road team that night.
Probably one of the favorites in our league, which is a very good basketball league. But Franklin Monroe came to our place and jumped on us pretty early. Ended up being a 7-point game. Our kids really showed a lot of grit and a lot of fight, and just couldn't dig out of that first quarter hole. And then we came out in the third and didn't score a whole lot, so that made it tough. But credit to our kids and how hard they played and how well they played together. We actually cut it to 6. And they had it to a 2-possession game at one point in the second half.
And you talk about early in that game, it seemed like that Conley kid, that Ethan Conley, wow, what a player he is. But, man, it seemed like everything he threw up was going in, and he could have thrown it in from the other side of the court, and it was going to go in. And
I think he unfortunately had a career night against us. We had seen him earlier, and he didn't play that way, but we knew he was capable of that. But a lot of those shots, our kids were right there with the hand in his face, and that's a credit to the kid and his ability level. He stepped up and made big shots, and I believe he was the one when we got it to 6. They called a timeout and ran a play for him. He had a big shot for him.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, really the grit of our kids to be able to come back from that early deficit, you know, to really make a game of it and give us a chance there in the end.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't be proud of our kids. Like you said, that was their third game, and we're certainly not making any excuses. We had some first game jitters. You know, we had balls going off our hands and dribbling them off our foot, but that certainly, you know, no kid goes in there trying to do that. Our kids were playing as hard as they could, and they really put up a good fight.
Well, then we come back to the next night, and we've got Versailles, and they bring with them a future Ohio State Buckeye. We'll be rooting for him next year, but not this year. But
I didn't read a whole lot for him the other night.
yeah, but boy, he's a really good player. But man,
Yes.
our kids really defensively clamped down on him.
Yes, they did. Our kids applied the scouting report and just did a great job all night. And he's by far a very good player, obviously, going to the Ohio State Buckeyes. But they have other players as well.
His brother.
His brother hurt us quite a bit. The McEldowney kid was a nice player. I think he ended up like 16. So they spread it around. But again, our kids never mailed it in.
Mhm.
And again, at one point we had it to single digits against a very good, highly rated Versailles team that I think is going to win a lot of basketball teams. Or a lot of basketball games, pardon me. I think both those teams are going to win a lot of games. And our kids showed what they're capable of and what they're capable of doing on any given night.
And then late in the game, we cut it, like you said, to single digits and had some opportunities there. But man, they are loaded.
Yeah,
They-
yeah, he can shoot it legit from 25 feet or so. And that's hard to guard. And it exposes your defense a little bit. And they're pretty good defensively as well. They're long, and they're a very talented ball club.
You know, and for us to have 2 games back to back like that, you know, with a team that really coming into the season, we thought we were going to have 2 returning lettermen, and Zach and Jet,
Right.
and we lose Jet.
Mhm.
You know, a big blow, torn ACL, unfortunately, for him. But for our kids to really perform the way they did, under the circumstances, the first weekend of the season, it was really good.
Right. Again, myself and our coaching staff, we couldn't be prouder. Our kids are working hard, and they're going to continue to do that, and our goal is to get better each night out.
Okay, and then last night was a disappointment. We played over at Newton. The girls opened up first, and then we had the nightcap, and it was disappointing in the fact that we missed a lot of shots inside.
We did not finish well at all from anywhere from 6 to 4 feet, and again, as I said earlier, no kid goes in there and tries to miss those shots, and sometimes we as coaches, we live with blinders on a little bit, as I talked to my team a little bit today about, and I wasn't sure how hard we played. But everybody I talked to, and that's a staple of our kids, they said, boy, your kids really played hard. You know, they've got a couple kids that handle the ball pretty well, they're pretty quick, and the Worley kid shot the ball well for him. We knew the Millette kid would shoot well, and I just didn't think we executed like we're capable of. And that, you know, we picked a poor night to play poorly. We had 21 offensive rebounds. We had 15 more shots. We got to the foul line 20 times. So there's a lot of positives in that game. It's unfortunate, you know, even with all that and not playing that well, we still had a shot at the end. And we have to give Newton credit. They played well. They executed their game plan. Again, we're going to try to get better every night. Luckily tonight we came back to practice. Our kids came back in with their heads up, and I feel we got better. We have to move on. We have to get that game out of our minds and move on to a Bradford team that's very hungry.
And what's good is I was looking at some of the scoring totals the last 3 games, kind of add them up a little bit, and you've got 3 players at right now averaging 10 points a game in Bradley Wiggins, Zach Parrott, and Braden Miller,
Right.
and another one right behind him, Nathan Lyle. So the distribution of the points is really balanced, and that's what I know you like.
Exactly. We want to share the basketball. We don't want to be predictable, if that makes any sense. You know, we want kids to be able to step up and make the plays when available. Obviously, we've got to get a few more stops on defense, but that's the kind of scoring attack we want. You know, we've like you said, we've got 3 guys in there anywhere from about 12 to 10, and then one right under there. And if we can continue that and get some other things ironed out and handled, we're going to be okay.
Okay, and then this weekend we have we travel to Bradford Friday night, and then have Anna come to our place Saturday. Can you talk about those 2 games?
Sure. Again, Bradford's a hungry team, got a new coach, but they're definitely improved in the last couple of years. I think they're going to have a kid that possibly could be back from injury, Letterman from last year. I expect a high energy game from both teams. It's been good since I've been here, these games. You know, you kind of talk about that being a rivalry game, Covington, Bradford. I don't think there's any loss for words there. Everybody kind of gets it.
What's it? We say we don't lose to Bradford. Bradford always says we don't lose to Covington.
Right. And we're going to do our best to make sure that happens on our end. And then we have to turn around. And again, that's a good thing. Our kids showed that we can turn around, play back-to-back nights, and play well against a very athletic team from Anna. Got a couple kids back. Bensman boy is back. He's a 2-year letterman, I believe. But they've got a nice core of young athletes coming through there right now. Very athletic group. So they'll certainly be a challenge at home as well.
Okay, well that's it with Coach Matt Pond. Come out and support the Bucks Friday night as we travel to Bradford. And up next, we will close things out with senior Braden Miller.
This is Andy Johnson of Bucks Radio, the voice of Covington Buccaneers. Here to encourage Buccaneer fans to support local businesses. Your patronage of local businesses goes a long way in allowing them to continue to support Covington schools and Covington athletics.
Okay, we're back with Braden Miller to finish up week 4 of Bucks Weekly. And Braden, it's your senior year. So how is things going in off season to get you guys prepared for this year?
It's going really good. We worked really hard all off season, try to get better, try to improve and be ready for the season.
And what's it like playing with your dad's high school teammate, Coach Pond? I'm sure you've heard all the war stories.
Yeah, lots of good stories about him. Coach Pond always just passes to my dad because he knew he couldn't shoot it as well as my dad could. So
yeah, your dad was a shooter back in the day.
that's for sure.
Okay, so you guys started out the season kind of rough. Had really two, like we had talked earlier with Coach Pond, you had 2 really good opponents in Franklin Monroe and Versailles. But you guys really didn't flinch, as a team. Talk about that as a senior group.
Yeah, we know that we're not really the most talented team out there, but we know that as long as we give our heart and our effort every single time, we just want to give the fans really a show. And if we go out there, play hard, work on getting everything, like all of the grit, and like just keep rebounding everything that you can do, and just really putting your effort into it, then the fans will like it, and sometimes it'll reflect out in your way on the scoreboard.
Okay, and then you got a chance to go head to head with Justin Arns, is that his name?
Yeah.
Justin Arns from Versailles. What's it like to go head to head with a kid is going to be playing at Ohio State next year?
You just gotta do everything you can to slow him down. I mean, obviously he's a great player. He's gonna do everything he can to score, and he knows how to score. But as long as you can slow him down, keep him from getting those career nights, and just work as hard as you can on him.
Is he as good as advertised?
Yeah, he's really good. He's really tall.
Okay, well then last night it was kind of a frustrating night for us over at Newton. Can you just talk about that? The kind of night we had.
Yeah, we just needed to finish our layups, our bunny shots. That was mainly what killed us, and then free throws. Winning the free throw battle. We think we lost by 3 free throws, which ended up being the game.
Okay, and Coach Pond talked about, you guys come in today, ready to go to work. Attitude, you put it behind you, attitude's there. You guys, no downslide in your preparation. Is that senior leadership? Is it the seniors that have that attitude?
Yeah, we just know that we need to bounce back from it, and it's over, it's in the past. Now we just got to move forward and focus on Bradford.
Okay, what's your goals here from here on out for the Bucks?
We really just want to be competitive in every game. I mean, we'd like to win them all, but there's some in there that they're really tough, but we just want to be competitive and give ourselves a shot at the end.
Okay, well, good luck, Braden, and look forward to a great year. That's it for Bucks Weekly Week 4 with Ben Robinson and Braden Miller. And come out and support the Bucks this weekend over at Bradford on Friday night, and then at home against Anna. For Ben Robinson and Braden Miller, good night.
Go Bucks!